So we have over 157 people dead during the pandemic. We were denied PPE in the early days of the pandemic. They broadcasted it. They told us we could not have PPE. If we wore masks, we would be penalized for it. They had us operate in full service through the whole entire pandemic. No hazard pay. Currently, our workers who work through the pandemic, who are continuously going out COVID and testing positive for COVID, are not even being reimbursed their wages. They're being made to use their own sick time. So if you think that Amazon is going through something without a union, imagine what they're going through without a union, and we have one.
Hey there, folks. Jordan Sheridan here at Amazon's Fortress in Staten Island. If you see behind me, this is like Dr. Evil headquarters over here. I've never been here before, but it goes down an entire block, Amazon here in Staten Island. And for those of you that might not remember, Staten Island is kind of, I guess, the first warehouse in America that got a lot of attention during coronavirus because a whistleblower, he's actually here, Christian Smalls, he worked with Amazon. He got fired from Amazon, and he worked at this Staten Island location, and he basically got fired for the crime of speaking out against Amazon for their non-existent safety restrictions and protocols during COVID. Christian, I'm sure this is a rally that's about to happen here, a solidarity rally, basically with ex-Amazon workers, union activists, all that, and they're going to be basically rallying in solidarity and support for the folks way, way down south in Bessemer, Alabama. Today, actually, they're going to start counting the votes in Bessemer, Alabama, for the Alabama workers who are trying to unionize.
All the focus and attention and accountability needs to be focused on Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. And it's a damn shame that I'm saying that the richest man in the world failed to protect his own workers, the ones who made him the richest man in the world, the ones that he profited off every single day, the ones that make him almost $4,000 a second, $9 million an hour, $13 billion a day. That's what he made during the pandemic. $13 billion a day. He could have paid all of us six figures and still had as much money as he did before the pandemic. He could stop world hunger. He could stop evictions. He could stop unemployment. Just by being taxed, he can help our communities. And he does none of these things. He pays zero taxes. What is wrong with this system? A lot.
I am honored to stand in solidarity with all of you today. I really appreciate my brother Chris here and each and every one of you who is standing up to fight the power, because you are not disposable. We are not disposable. My name is Diane Morales, and I am the first Afro-Latina candidate for New York City mayor.
Let's go.
I am the daughter of a union family. I am a single mother. I am a first-generation college graduate. And I am also running for mayor because I want to elevate and center the voice of the people. Because it is time. For too long, millionaires and billionaires have grown their wealth off the back of the working class and the poor. And we are not going to take it anymore.
They fired Chris. They fired Jerry. They gave me a final write-up. They said we violated social distancing. How did we violate social distancing? Y'all did that. Y'all didn't do anything for us. We raised our concerns, and what y'all do? Y'all turned your back on us. Not only did y'all turn your back on us, y'all turned your back on this whole building. Y'all turned your back on Staten Island. Y'all turned your back on every state in America. You turned your back on everyone. The associates that built y'all, that built this company, what did y'all do for us? What did y'all do? Why was there no mask here? People are dying. Kids are dying. Grandmothers are dying. People are dying. What did y'all do? Y'all didn't do anything.
They have used us in every way possible, and that's what people have to realize. There's people in this building right here that are ignorant to the truth. You know, there's some people that haven't worked in their first 40 years. They sold drugs, did whatever on the streets. Jeff gave them a job, you know, because that's how he gets it done. You know, hires anybody. There's no requirements for this job. Just come to work. We'll put you where you need to be. And that right there is our problem, because we have a lot of people that don't know what labor laws are, and they come in here and they just don't know what they're doing. I remember when I first started here, I was well advised on labor laws. I've been through unions and everything, and I can remember one day babbling off and just talking. I had about 7 or 8 managers behind me in the next 5 minutes. Can we help you, Joe? Is anything wrong? Because they wanted me to say the L word so they could terminate me at that point. But I realized that. I said, nah, I think I'll stick around a while longer. You know? So I didn't say anything.
They have a whole social distancing team in there. A bunch of associates that are supposed to keep people 6 feet, but only in the break rooms. That means only in like 3 buildings, in 3 areas in the entire building do you have to remain 6 feet. But the second you work, you just step onto the floor, you're working around hundreds of people. And there is no social distancing whatsoever. That's why they'll never let you guys in there with the cameras. Even when they invite news crews, they will send that entire department on break. And Derek can tell you, for example, they did that once. When PBS came in, or the New York Times, they'll send that entire department on break and have 1 or 2 people there still working. People that Amazon selects specifically to represent them. People that will always speak highly of Amazon. People that want to move up. People that will say anything that Amazon tells them. And that's the kind of people that Amazon promotes. That's why we need a union. Because there's no trust in leadership, there's no trust in corporate.
Shame on the local media, especially the Latinx media, on not being here. Because they prefer to cover what's going on with Andrew Mark Cuomo instead of being here denouncing what's going on here.
That's true.
And at the same time, I want to thank Jordan from Status Coup that's been there with us since day one. Having voices about with Status Coup, nobody will know what's going on inside Amazon.
I would like to bring up a family that reached out to me, or actually I reached out to them a couple months ago in Virginia. A worker reached out to me from that facility and told me about a co-worker of hers that passed away. Her name was Pushan Brown. And I said, how did she pass away? And she told me Pushan was testing her co-workers at Amazon. And I said, no. She was testing her workers, testing her co-workers, and she was. Swab nose. No N95 mask, no facial shield, no surgical gloves, no gown, no plexiglass. No plexiglass in that facility. Right next to the workers' station. She's testing workers. She even tried to warn them, saying workers are coming in here positive. She don't feel safe. They disregarded it.
I want everybody to know about Pushan Renee Brown. I want everybody to know that my sister was the sweetest thing. She was the best sister, the best mother you could ever have. And I know I gotta pace myself, but I want to start off by saying this is that to Jeff, because it's on the tip of my tongue and I got to get it out. My sister loved working for your company when she was a driver, and she was a flex driver. And then she started off as a driver for the warehouse. She loved working for your company. She loved it. She could not wait until she got her blue badge. And then she became a permanent full-time employee. She loved it. She loved coming to work. Whether you worked her 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, she loved it. She loved working for your company. She worked for your company for 4 years. She was not a fly-by-night employee. She worked for your company for 4 years until the day she died. She loved working for your company, Jeff. She worked every shift in that warehouse, every shift. She started off working at Amazon because our mother was bedridden and paralyzed. She got in an accident in 2017, so my sister had to quit her job as administrative assistant. And she started off working at night, on a night shift. First it was flex driver, then it was a night shift as a night sorter. She worked every shift in that warehouse. She did everything. She never said no to anybody. And I want you to know that she loved your company. And when my sister died, I reached out to you guys. I waited 2 weeks. Nobody ever got back. Y'all was told y'all would get back. Y'all got back to me 3 weeks later. And y'all offered me and my niece, her daughter, 2 months of grief counseling that expires on April, which is in 24 hours. It expires tomorrow, April the 1st. Jeff, that's not fair.
You called Amazon Seattle headquarters, and what did they force Gabrielle, 12-year-old Gabrielle, to do?
Well, she had her listed as the emergency contact and me, and then they wanted, I guess I wasn't good enough, but they wanted her to get on the phone and give them her mom's information as far as her birthday and when she died and her social security number. And they said that was the proper procedure and protocol. And we were on the phone with them. Well, that was a long day. That morning, my mom had been calling them. They had hung up on her twice. And then the third time I heard them hang up, that's when I came downstairs. Because I just wanted my mom to leave it alone. Because when people die, when you lose somebody, you know, because I had lost my grandma. We just lost my grandma in September. It was different. No, it's different than this. Because, you know, my granny, you know, she was old. She was 80. But my sister, my baby sister, I was talking to her. I talked to her up until the day she died. I talked to her up until that morning. And I wanted my mom to just stop because it was so much. I wanted her to leave them alone and stop calling Amazon. If Dukes was here, she would have been making her cake. She would have baking her cake. She let her cook. She let her bake. If Pooh was here, we would have had a whole feast for my mom. And my birthday's next month. And my sister, you're right, she would have been 40 next year. It hurts. It's I mean, I can just tell you that she was just the sweetest thing. She never said no. That was her problem. She never said no. She was the sweetest thing. She was the most kindest, caring person. Oh gosh, she was so, I'm not gonna say gullible, but she would just, if you knew her, you had a friend in her. She was a good mom, an outstanding sister. She was in my corner no matter if I could be dead wrong, and she would be right there with me. She was a good daughter. She was my mom's favorite. I don't know, that hit me that she would have been 40 next year.